What started as a protest by noon was a celebration.
Everybody was like happy and, yelling and shouting, and that's a really good news for us.
A relief, too, for parents.
It's great the kids will be back in school where they should be.
Bittersweet for kids.
I'm happy, but I'm also sad because I like hanging out with my mom.
55,000 education support workers, including janitors, secretaries, and early childhood educators, didn't just force schools to close, they forced the Premier's hand.
As a gesture of good faith, our government is willing to rescind the legislation.
Or, according to the union,
they took on the Ford government, and the government blinked.
Last week, Ontario rushed through legislation invoking the notwithstanding clause in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, stripping the workers of their right to strike, bringing unions across the country together.
When you come for one of us, you come for all of us.
Public and private sector unions united.
Workers made it clear that they will not tolerate the weaponizing of the notwithstanding clause to strip away our charter rights.
Whatever the government was trying to achieve here, I'm confident that it's achieved precisely the opposite of that.
It's a lesson to others, says this political scientist.
So there's a message here not just for the Ford government, not just for future Ontario governments, but also for premiers right across the country, that certain rights, if you do try to violate them, are going to elicit a significant backlash.
And then there's the tricky business of the province sitting back down at the bargaining table with angry unions.
I think it overplayed its hand, and so it's going to be less likely, in fact, in the future to be able to use this kind of option. And in some respects, they shot themselves in the foot in terms of how they're able to negotiate with other unions.
So, Katie, I mean, the strikes ended, but it certainly doesn't sound like it's over.
No, parents started getting notifications today that schools are reopening tomorrow, but the union's still in a strike position, even though it would have to give 5 days notice before it takes action. Now, the two sides were far apart on wages before this all started, but here's the difference. Now the union is returning to the table with the backing of public and private sector unions from across the country, and that could change the calculation.
No kidding. All right, Katie Nicholson in Toronto. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.